of 2022, and his teammate Dominic Gorey from the class of 2012.
Almost done. Short time. Nice to see that a few folks showed up tonight. I'm tempted to just stand up here and grin for a few minutes, but this is really fun. But I shouldn't be up here. This was never, you saw in the video, this was never in any plan. I'm proof that God watches out for knuckleheads. I am humbled to be among the other 6 honored here tonight by our outstanding Florida chapter. I struggled after being informed. I really, really did. I kind of shook my head no, put my hands up, and asked my brother Kevin, asked Jeff Milonsky, asked Colonel Z-Man. They know. As my Marine Corps buddy, Donnie Muleheron over here, often says, I'm just an average guy trying to do an above average job. When I see our flag, I beam with pride. When I hear our national anthem, I put my hand over my heart and I stand tall. Well, as tall as I can. And I view everyone in this room as an outstanding American. Bob, I know I'm on a clock here, but I swear if I have to, I'm going to punch myself in the nose, I'll get a little blood time. I will. As Forrest Gump once said, I may not be a smart man, but I know to thank my wife Elsa first before all else. Elsa, 39 years married. Your patience and support are extraordinary. When I was deployed, which was a lot, you did everything. And then for the past 21 years, you have loyally been in the stands supporting our wrestlers. I know that I can look up near the top of the stands and always see you. I can't thank you enough. I love you. This honor tonight is just as much yours. I've been counseled to not spend too much time on thank yous, but I have to do so. Here tonight are our 3 outstanding American children, Kurt, Vanessa, Michael, and their successful spouses, Carly, JC, and Brittany. I'm so proud of each one of you. By the way, Carly, happy birthday tonight. Thought I forgot, huh? 6 of our 8 grandkids are here this weekend. Lola, which is Grandma in Filipino, and I are thrilled that God brought you into our lives. And all the little kids here tonight have been amazing. I'm impressed as heck with some of these little kids that have been real quiet. It's nice. My sister Sharon, here with her husband Corey, thank you for being here. Despite having your son, my nephew Jamie, passing away just 2 weeks ago, and I know that he's with God. And today is also his birthday, so happy birthday, Jamie. When I was wrestling, I could only ever hear a few distinct voices. One was my incredible junior high coach, Walt Allison. Coach, please stand up for a second. Somebody, Mark, you might have to help him a little bit. There you go, Coach. I love you, Coach. You're the one who got me started in this great sport. Another voice that I could hear was my high school coach, Barry Zimbler, who, by the way, was the very first recipient of our Florida chapter's John Vaughn Award. Rest in peace, Coach Zimbler. I wish you were here. So my 2 coaches' voices, I could hear very well. But the other voice that I could always distinctly hear was from my sister Sharon, and it sounded just like this. He's banned, ref! He's banned! Also here, of course, is my brother Kevin. You saw him, and his wife Michelle. Thank you both for all that you do. Kevin stood up here in the exact spot 2 years ago, a little bit lower though, for this very same honor. Kevin had a stellar career in the DEA, and he is indeed an outstanding American. I wish that our mom and dad were here tonight, but I know that both of them are looking down from heaven with big smiles. It's very apparent to me that, wait a minute, when does a joke become officially a dad joke? When it becomes apparent. I'm sorry. Sorry. Everybody expected me to put in a joke, so it's apparent to me that us three kids got our athleticism and sense of service from our father. He was captain of his high school team in Iowa, and then he fought in World War II as a very young P-38 pilot in the South Pacific. He was definitely an outstanding American. Our mom, a saint and a giver. The word no was not in her vocabulary. Her life's motto, it is always better to give than to receive. So it's probably no surprise that I always have a hard time saying no. She loved everyone, including wrestlers. I know she had a special place in her heart for the three Minto brothers and the Kozelkis, among many, many others. To all my nieces and nephews, I love you all and I'm very proud of you. Special thanks to Mariner High, which allowed me to be a volunteer assistant coach 21 years ago. Current principal, Dr. Michael, and past and current athletic directors, Vito Minona and Steve Larson. To former Mariner head coach, Dave Phillips, and current head coach, Clay French, raise your hands real quick. I can't thank you two enough for your leadership. Suffice it to say, you both would have made great Marines. That's a compliment. I have two Filipino sister-in-laws here tonight. 20 years ago, I had the honor of sponsoring Madeline and her husband when they first came to the United States in search of the American dream. They and their two children, also here tonight, have been very successful. It's a special feeling to watch a family come to our country and do everything the right way. My other sister-in-law here, Tina, came to the United States just a month ago from the Philippines. Welcome to the United States of America. Several Miami Palmetto wrestling teammates here tonight, along with some class of '74, better than the ones before, dear friends. Very cool to have you here representing, and also gotta love that Mike Graham from Palmetto is in this same class. Go Panthers, fight! Quite a few Marine Corps fighter aviation brothers are here. Each and every one is an outstanding American in their own right. My Top Gun pilot, Dog Food, because his last name is Albo, so that made sense. Dog Food's here. Z-Man, DeMitch, Snoopy, Siggy, Dorsal, Marbles, because he had three different color eyes. Bone 1 and Bone 2, and Tanks is here. Tanks was my pilot when we were in the right place at the right time at 4 a.m. on a very dark night during Operation Desert Storm. A small group of recon Marines in northwest Kuwait were being attacked and overrun by multiple armored vehicles, and I'm thankful that I was in Tank's back seat. Tanks, you saved a lot of lives that night. Raise your hand. All these buddies are heroes. Quite a few great ones aren't here because they paid the ultimate price. We could tell stories for hours, and most of them would probably be true. We few, we happy few, we band of brothers. Some fellow Naval Academy classmates are here, Chris Bentley, Dan Chang. By the way, Dan's father was the very first naturalized Asian American admiral in the U.S. Navy. Wow. Pretty cool. Two other Marines here I need to highlight, both Naval Academy grads. As you know, I flew fighter attack jets most of my career, and it was all in support of Marines on the ground. Grunts, as we like to call them. Colonel Rex Estelo and Lieutenant Colonel Big Dave Bethel, stand up for a second. Sirs, you are why we aviators wanted to be the best at owning the air and putting bombs on target on time. And we have two astronauts here. Stand up for a second. Both also Naval Academy grads. One Navy, one Marine. You can sit down now. I always want to do that. Navy Captain Dom Gorey was a close Miami Palmetto wrestling teammate. 12 years ago, Dom was inducted as an outstanding American into our Florida chapter, and then he was ultimately inducted at the national level at Stillwater, Oklahoma. and Marine Corps Colonel George Zambo Zamka, who I had the great pleasure of flying a few combat missions with over Kuwait, dodging missiles in AAA during Desert Storm. By the way, Don flew the shuttle 4 times, Zambo flew the shuttle 2 times. I made them both promise to do autographs all night, so I brought a couple extra pens. A couple of former and current Mariner High wrestlers here. I'm so dang proud of you guys. You all have earned the gold medals in life. Tom and Melody Morrell here tonight. Raise your hands. Parents of Michael, who I helped just a little bit to get into the Naval Academy a few years ago. We know how special your son is and what he'll do for our country as a future Navy doctor. Andy Vadjak and his wife Kim here tonight. A very, very special family. They're 3 tough sons, 2 of which wrestled at Fort Myers High, Green Wave. Now, their 3 sons, Marine, Navy, Army. Doesn't get any better than that.
There you go. Army.
Special shout out to our Florida Chapter Hall of Fame folks, each and every one of you. Especially appreciate the professionalism and the close communication with Jane, Gary, Cecilia, and Bob. Buttering up to you a little bit. If I missed anyone on my long thank you list, forgive me, I really am kind of a little bit overwhelmed. Now, I know I'm on a clock and running out of time, but I want to have a little fun covering some similarities that exist between flying fighter jets and wrestling. I'm often asked, what is it like to be in a fighter jet cockpit, especially during a dogfight? Well, it's kind of like you're in one of your toughest wrestling matches, except you're sitting down, strapped into a chair, under 7 Gs, no referee, no coach, nobody in the stands watching, and with no chance for an injury timeout. In a real dogfight, there are really only 3 outcomes. 1, you win by killing the other guy, except you don't get your hand raised at the end. 2, you lose, which means you're either dead or you eject. If you eject, you're either rescued or you become a POW, which would not be fun. Or 3, a possible tie. Probably because one of you is extremely low on fuel and needs to execute a timely escape, which we call a bug out. Wrestlers would call that fleeing the mat. Fighter pilots come in all shapes and sizes, as do wrestlers. There's a saying that applies to both. Train to fight, fight to win. Both like to get comfortable at being uncomfortable. Both require a unique mix of aggressive offense and protective defense. Both are an individual effort, but with a team aspect. There's a lot of verbiage that has interesting similarities. I'm going to say the fighter jet phrase first, and then its crossover similarity in wrestling. Clear for takeoff. Go on the whistle. Speed is life. Quicker! Belly check. Mat check. Keep your head on a swivel. Know where you're at. Check altitude. Short time. Do some of that pilot stuff. Keep moving. Fly under the radar. Lower your level. Take the shot. Well, that's the same. Take the shot. That was a good one. Eject, eject, eject. Well, that would simply be the now too common twirly bird signal. Almost done, Bob. Being a leader in a fighter squadron is like being a wrestling team captain. The following quote applies to both. Just because I give you advice does not mean that I know more than you. It just means that I've done more stupid stuff than you. In closing, this next generation coming up, they're tough. Absolutely tough. The men and the women. Remember, dreams never chase you back, so you got to keep chasing them. Country singer Tim McGraw has a great line in one of his songs. When you get where you're going, don't forget, turn back around and help the next one in line. Always be humble and kind. And oh yeah, there's one more great line in that song. Visit Mr. Grandpa every chance that you can. It is with great humility that I accept this honor for all who love our sport of wrestling. May God continue to bless the United States of America, my home sweet home, Semper Fidelis.